Hello everyone, myself Ganesh here, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, ASITM, Shivamogga. In the last class we have discussed about network, that is PERT and CPM techniques. We are going to study further some of the basic definitions like, that is a pressure classes like events, path, activity, and this one WPS. If a project has been assigned, for example, if project has been assigned like this, so it will be divided into so many set of activities. It will be divided into so many set of segments. So each segment may be assigned as an activity, and that will consume some amount of time duration, and the activity name will be addressed exactly at the center. The amount of time duration that consumed by that particular sub project will be, or the part of the project which will be called as an activity, will be highlighted exactly at the center of the arrow mark, and that activity has having a start point called 1 and having an end point called 2. The arrow facing the arrow, it will be decided as an end point. This will be called as a starting point. So this will be an head and this will be a tail portion. This will be called as a starting point and this will be called an end point, and these circles within which we have written numbers, that will be called as a nodes or events. So when you are representing a project, if you are observing here, all the arrows are represented from left to right, and here they have been represented by a continuous line, but only this portion is a dotted line, that it indicates a dummy activity. So why it is required means, if you are observing an activity from 2 to 3 in this particular diagram, it is having two activities which are emerging from that particular portion, that will be called as a burst, and those two activities which are emerging from the node 2, they both of them are ending at the node 3, that will be called as a merge event. So emerging from a node 2 and merging at node 3, these two activities which are doing the same case simultaneously, that is not possible in the network diagram. In such cases, instead of representing like this, we need to represent like this. So if two activities are simultaneously emerging from a node 2 and they are meeting exactly at node 3, that means that is not possible. In such cases, we need to introduce a dummy activity shown by a dotted arrow symbol, and it does not consume any amount of time duration, but it represents the network diagram. So it's a part of the network diagram we need to construct. This is one of the rules when you are constructing the network diagram. So keeping in that mind, we will further move on to some of the topics like earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. So you are going to use all those four things. So along with, we will work on some of the concepts like slack, float. So within the float we have three furthermore classification, that is total float, free float, and independent float. All their definitions has been addressed here, but before that, the slack or the float means how much a relaxation or a flexibility or a delay that should be provided to an activity or a node without disturbing its total duration of the project will be called as a slack or a float in your particular network diagram. So in the concept of float, if you are considering for the total float, free float, independent float, how they have been calculated means I have given the formulas. Total float equals LST means latest start time minus earliest start time, or latest finish time minus earliest finish time. So free float means once you calculate total float, then total float minus head slack. That has to be calculated. How to calculate head slack means that has been there. This has to be calculated exactly at the head node means at the tip of the arrow. So then independent float means we need to calculate free float. It has to be calculated at the tail portion. So there has been also the formula. That means in the examination, if in any cases in the examinations, if they ask for independent float means we need to calculate free float. That means we need to calculate total float. We need to calculate all these things if you want to calculate an independent float. So we need to know these particular cases, how we need to calculate in the problems. So what is the meaning of this? All this float means how much relaxation that should be given to a particular activity without hampering the project duration, that will be considered as the floats. So based on that, they have been classified these three subcategories, that is the total float, free float and independent float. So their definitions have been highlighted here. So read those definitions. Then we will tell you how to use those definitions in calculating the problems or in working out of the problems. So the first one, this is the problem. They have mentioned here activity. These are the set of activity and these are the set of duration. That means each activity will going to consume this amount of duration. This duration has been means it is the time that has been consumed by this activity. It may be in terms of weeks, months or years. So the entire set of activity will going to give one set of project. The project may be anything, building of a house or construction of a medical or planning for any satellite launching or something, that will be there as a project that have been subdivided into so many set of categories. So based on that, if you want to calculate some float values, that means if you want to calculate this one total float, so how to calculate means you should know the values LST, EST, LFT, EFT, all those values you should know. So how to calculate all those things means first you need to construct the network diagram. So once you know how the procedure to construct a network diagram, if you are able to find out the critical path or critical activities, then you will require to draw some more columns in addition to these two columns that has been given in the question. That we are going to show. If you are observing here, we have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4 columns that have been mandatory in order to calculate any one of the float values. So if you want to calculate, I told earlier, if you want to calculate independent float means free float is a must one. If you want to calculate free float means total float is a must one. Now we are addressing only total float means we require only these 4 columns: EST, EFT, LST, LFT. So based on the question, this question we have constructed the network diagram. So if in the question, if you are observing, we have the node 1 and the last node is 6. First node is node 1, last node is 6, and 1 to 2 is an activity, 1 to 3 is an activity, 2 to 4 is an activity, 3 to 4 is an activity. So based on that we have constructed, and if you are observing, these are the time duration that has been represented exactly at the center of the activity. So then after, if we are observing, we are observing for the what are the number of paths. How to calculate or how to observe for the paths in the network diagram means this is the way to observe for a path. This is the path. This is also a path. This is also a path. There are total 4 paths available. So within that particular path, whatever the activity that has been there, just add those time duration, those activities, we are going to get the path consumption or the amount of duration that has been consumed by the particular path. So 1 to 6 will going to consume total 18 hours. So similarly others also have been noted here. So when you compare the duration values, this one is consuming more amount of duration, that it will be addressed as the critical path, and the critical activities are 1 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 6 are the critical activities. This should be highlighted by the double line. So after this, we have shown here the differentiate between the critical path and the other path. This is the starting network diagram. Then here, based on the value, that is 1, 3, 4, 6, which is having a consumption of duration as 20 hours, we have shown them as a critical path, and these are the critical activities. So here the double arrow or the double line that indicates it has been the critical path which has been differentiated by the other path. Then the next thing, before going for these columns, we need to calculate these values E and L values for each node. That means for each circle, if you are able to calculate E and L values, then we can calculate easily these columns. How to calculate E and L means E, first we want to calculate E for each circle or node from left to right. E will be calculated here from left to right. Then after that we want to calculate the L values, that is from right to left. So first the node 1. The node 1, the E means the starting. So simply we want to put the starting value will be always 0. That means any project or any activity that will want to always having the starting time as 0. The starting time of a project, that means E will going to become 0. So next node E value will going to become, this is simply 0 plus 6, and here it will be 0 plus 9, it will going to become 9. Then if you go for in this particular direction, 6 plus 3 means 9, 9 plus 4 means 13. You are going to have two values here. 6 plus 3 means 9, 9 plus 4 means 13. When you compare with respect to 9 and 13, the bigger value is 13, so we have written here 13. Similarly here 9 plus 8 means 17, and here 6 plus 12 means 18. One value is 18, 13 plus 7 means 20. So another value here 17 plus 1 is 18. That means we are having E values will be here 18, 20, 18. So the out of that the bigger one will be the 20. So the E value is going to become 20. That means whenever you have at the junction, we need to take the bigger values, and we need to add simply the first E value with respect to the time duration to get the nodal values or these event values, and it will be moved from always from left to right. So for L values, whatever this E value will be there, that we need to write down here as the L value. L equals 20. Since E equals 20 means L equals 20, and we need to go from right to left, and here now we need to subtract. So when you are going in this particular direction, 20 minus 1 means L is going to become 19, 20 minus 12 means L is going to become 8, 20 minus 7 means L is going to become 13. Then so we are moving in this particular direction means now this will going to become junction. So we are moving in this particular direction means this will going to become junction. Here L value is already 13, 13 minus 4 means 9, and here 19 minus 8 means it will going to become 11. So in the reverse direction we will want to take the smallest values. The smaller values, that is here it will going to become 9, here it will going to become 11 means the smaller will be 9. We are going to put that 9 value. Then the another junction is this one. This is 20 minus 12 means 8. Then here when you are going in this particular direction, 13 minus 3 means 10. So when you compare 10 and 18, the smallest value is 8. Then this will be once again junction portion, because we are coming this also direction, in this also direction. 8 minus 6 means 2, and 9 minus 9 means 0. The smallest value is 0. And one more thing we need to remember, the starting, whatever this node 1 will be there, which is having E value and L values, it will be always same. The end node values, that is node 6, E and L values should be always same. And having these values, we need to calculate each of this table. So C1 column it will be given in the question, C2 column will be given in the question, and C3 we will have to look after by the diagrams. C3 means earliest start time. Then how to calculate that? C3 means earliest start time. Earliest start time means how early that particular event will going to be start. That means if you have an activity 1 to 2 means the starting this 1 to 2 activity is going to start at 1, which is having a E value as 0. That means 1 to 2 E value is going to become 0. That means the next one is 1 to 3. 1 to 3 will going to start at 1 means its E value is going to become 0. So it is answer will be going to become 0. 2 to 4 means 2 to 4 its starting point will going to become 6. That means 2 to 4 value will going to become 6. 3 to 4 means 3 to 4 its starting point will going to become this one. That means its E value is going to become here 9. So that 9 we need to write down. Likewise we need to write down for all of them. Then earliest finish time means how early we will going to finish that particular activity. Earliest start time means In this particular activity 1 to 2, 1 will be the start time. The start time will be always 0 and end time will be based on your duration. Earliest finish time means how early you are going to finish means that depends upon the duration. So we are going to add these two values. 0 plus 6 will going to become the earliest finish time. 0 plus 9 will going to become the earliest finish time. Then 3 plus 6 will going to become the earliest finish time. 4 plus 9 will going to become the earliest finish time. 9 plus 8 means earliest finish time. That has been given as a C4. C4 means C2 plus C3. Then the next thing is column 5 is the latest start time and column 6 will be the latest finish time. First we are going to calculate the latest finish time by looking at the diagram. So latest finish time means, so when you are looking for this 1 to 2 activity, 1 to 2 activity, it will going to finish at 2. So it will going to have a L value as 8. That will going to become the latest finish time. So this will be the 8. Then 1 to 3. 1 to 3, it will going to finish exactly at 3, where the 3 is having, sorry, 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is an activity, it will going to finish exactly at 3, where at the 3 L value is 9. So that means 1 to 3 LFT will be going to become 9. Then if you are going for 3 to 5, 3 to 5. 3 to 5 will want to finish exactly at 5 means at 5 we have L value as 19. Use that L value at the LFT portion. Then how to get this particular column? Column 5 means you need to use this particular formula C6 minus C2. That is column 6 minus column 2. Column 6 is 8. Column 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 means 2. 9 minus 9 means 0. 13 minus 3 means 10. 13 minus 4 means 9. 19 minus 8 means 11. You need to calculate like that and you need to finish this particular table. The last one is the float. Float means this particular column 7, if you use this particular formula, that is latest start time minus earliest start time, or else you can use another formula also, LFT, latest finish time minus earliest finish time. Both of them are going to give the same answer. That means LST minus EST, that is 2 minus 0 means 2, 0 minus 0 means 0. Or else if you are using LFT minus EFT means they also give the same answer. 8 minus 6 is 2, 9 minus 9 is 0, 13 minus 9 is 4. So the answer is going to become same. When if you are using the upper formula or also lower formula, it is going to become same. This is the procedure to calculate for the total float. In order to construct this particular table, we should aware how to formulate or how to note these E and L values at each of the nodes. So if you are familiar, then the calculation of total float is going to become easier. So I thank you for listening my